Hello, everybody. I'm Jonathan Coachman, and this is Super Bowl Sunday on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Minnesota Vikings. With that, it's time for Super Bowl 54, and we'll send you now to Miami, standing by to call their fourth Super Bowl together. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach. Well, the road ends here. It has been a wild, often unpredictable 2019 season, and now it's time for the greatest spectacle in all of sports. Super Bowl 54 from Miami. You know, this town has played host to 10 Super Bowls in the past, and tonight we write chapter number 11. And what a matchup we've got. Tonight it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Denver Broncos taking on the champions from the NFC, the Minnesota Vikings. Brandon Godden with Charles Davis. And Charles, the Broncos, quite a circuitous route to get to this Super Bowl. They were winners of Super Bowl 50 in Santa Clara, you remember, and then didn't make the playoffs the next 3 years, going a combined 20-28. But bottom line, here they are back in the big one.
Yeah, and this is their 9th appearance in the said big game. Think about that. Who has more?
Patriots.
Just the Patriots, and we knew that, of course. But they have won it 3 times, twice under John Elway in the late 90s. And you remember, before he won those, people kept saying they couldn't win the big game with him as the quarterback. Well, he won it twice and put that to rest. And then they won Super Bowl 50, and John Elway in their front office, in their organization, for that win.
Meanwhile, the Minnesota Vikings are back in the big game for the 5th time in franchise history. But we all know one thing has eluded them all these years.
And that's an actual Super Bowl victory, partner. They're 0-4 in their previous visits. Super Bowls 4, 8, 9, and 11. And, boy, they had some great teams, too, didn't they? Bud Grant was their head coach. Fran Tarkenton, a quarterback. Alan Page and the Purple People Eaters on defense. They were all Hall of Famers. And don't forget Paul Krause. He's a very proud member of that great secondary they had. So we're going back more than 40 years since their last visit. You think the state of Minnesota is excited about this one? I know. They are. They're ready to get this one going.
The first Super Bowl of the new decade, Super Bowl 54, is underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3".
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8.
Big stop, let's go.
He'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the first down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot.
so much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. The Broncos send out their punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And a give this time to the tailback. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And it's fielded at the 34. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And on the first drive, 3-and-out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. They'll try and start this drive in the air. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 8
yards on the pickup brings up 2nd and 2 at the 44-yard line.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
On first down. He'll drop to throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. And the big meat on the D-line. We'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. It's picked up by the Broncos. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. He had the option there, decided to keep it, exposed himself and fumbled it.
Yeah, and you worry about the hits he's going to take in that situation. In this case, not only does he take the hit, he coughs the ball up, as you noted.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He has a big thank you to say to his defense. He threw the interception, then boom, the defense gets it back.
But the ebb and flow of a game is something else, isn't it? But you made an excellent point. A big thanks is owed to that defense. They went out there on what we call sudden change after a turnover and didn't give up anything. In fact, took the ball away and set them up again. Really nicely done.
So a clean slate and a mulligan. Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. A little bit of space there for the first down run as that's going to get him about 5 yards. Give him 5 on the carry there and it'll be 2nd down.
A quick burst there and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Now back to throw. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. No score after 1 on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. Back to throw here. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
A field goal try forthcoming now for the Broncos. From the left hash, this from 46. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
And feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1.
Let's go.
And now out comes Minnesota. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
I'm going back to you. I'm going back to you.
Back to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
The Vikings send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. It's the 2nd quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. Now a handoff here to his running back. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Second and 11. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. They'll set up a throw. He finds an opening past the 40. Wide open receiver complete. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
Yeah, baby.
2 minutes even on the clock in the first half of Super Bowl 54. A reminder, coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Jonathan Coachman and the crew in Orlando. Vikings turn up the heat and they block it. And they're going to take possession of the football. So much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you.
No.
And however form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. His throw caught at about the 5. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. Looking to throw. Buying time to his left. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Second and goal from inside the 5. Second and 4. His pass caught at the 4. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Third down and goal. This Denver defense trying to hold up for one more play. They'll drop the throw. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. With the first touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Vikings have taken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. 5 plays there on that drive. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
And you have to figure they won't just sit on the football here in the final minute. The way things have gone, they need to try to make something happen offensively.
But maybe they should. Maybe they should sit on it here because of what you just said. They haven't made anything happen offensively. Getting ready to go into the half, give them a chance to take a deep breath, exhale a little bit, and start over. I don't know if this is the time to push it myself.
Yeah, right now under 100 yards of total offense.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. 2nd down and inches. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half.
Go now. 18 Gator. 59. Better bring it. You better bring it.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's got his man on the out route. Now he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Denver has the 1st down, the play going for 15 yards.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. They'll look to throw here on first down. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That goes for a gain of 31. Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
It's 2nd and goal at the 6-yard line.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. So it's halftime here on sports' grandest stage in the Super Bowl. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight. As we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The never-tedious halftime show behind us, and now it's back to football as we get going again in Super Bowl 54. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go!
Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
A run there on first down gets 3 up to the 28. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. He'll drop to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
They're going to look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a first down.
Check. No. Let's go. 36.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
So maybe just a momentary setback on what's been a great drive so far, but 2nd and 13 here. 2nd and 13. He's got his man on the crossing route. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 37. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now this throw caught left side. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 21. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football. It's in the air, it's his and only his.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he is caught at the 7-yard line. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Now a handoff here to his running back. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
At the 5-yard line.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. One quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. 2nd and 5. This is caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave them with a 4th and goal. This is a long drive. Offensively, wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. And in his 15th season, he's able to get this one to go. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. That was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 35. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. He'll look to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. It'll be a gain of 4. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now a leaping catch. He's got it. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1 at the Vikings 13-yard line.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. 2nd and 1. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10. Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a play fake here on first down. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. From 10 yards out, as they can now tie the game with the extra point here in the final 2 minutes. Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the post, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, it's been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow. Now still down 1. Here's an utterly critical extra point attempt here. And it is good. There were about 70,000 people about to turn blue from holding their breaths, but it's good, and this Super Bowl is tied. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe bashed it.
Super toe.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Quick hitter here. It's complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down. We've had some wild Super Bowl finishes recently. 49 in Arizona, 51 in Houston. Now this one. The clock still runs. We're at 90 seconds now. 2nd and 6. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Well, that sets up a big third down. Now the decision has to be, do you run it here and play for OT, or do you go ahead and press it downfield?
Counting down toward a minute to go in this football game. Now back to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Back to throw here. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The Vikings going to signal for their first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to fire this thing deep. Oh, wide open, complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
That's just flat out a beautiful throw right there.
It was a rope. That's maybe the speed you would see on a slant, but he threw that downfield with that kind of pace.
Now, if he throws that one with any type of arc, puts a little air under it, that play doesn't happen. He had to fire it in there, and he did exactly that.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
It's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 5.
And we are set for a great finish as that timeout comes in with 2 seconds to go in this football game. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. This undoubtedly the biggest kick of his life. And his kick is good. The field goal is through the uprights, and they've won the Super Bowl. And they have done it. The Minnesota Vikings are the Super Bowl champions, and the Lombardi Trophy is going back to the land of 10,000 lakes. And their remarkable season ends in the most remarkable of ways. They get to put next to their name, Super Bowl champion.
And they can't ever take that away, can they?
Nope.
That lasts forever. So good to see the emotion when it's all said and done. You see the hugs. You see the guys sharing, the collective happiness. Makes me want to carry you around a little bit on my shoulders to celebrate the triumph. And congratulations to them. A fantastic season.
And they are the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi Trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. What a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gaudin signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports.